The entertainment industry often thrives on the delicate balance between reality and imagination. When two actors step into a role together, embodying characters who share an intimate bond, audiences naturally begin to wonder whether that connection might extend beyond the boundaries of the screen. Such speculation is not new, yet it is always fascinating when it surrounds beloved figures like Kyoko Yoshine and Kyoya. Both are talented performers with rising careers, and together they have captured the attention of viewers through projects that highlight their chemistry, subtle gestures, and seemingly effortless ability to communicate without words. It is from these small, almost imperceptible details that rumors begin to flourish. Kyoko Yoshine's career has been built on an ability to inhabit roles with sincerity. She carries a kind of natural transparency that makes her characters appear real, not constructed. This quality resonates deeply with audiences who feel as though they are watching someone they could meet in everyday life. She is capable of switching between vulnerability and strength in a single scene, and that versatility has made her one of the most respected young actresses of her generation. Her journey has been marked by steady growth, from early supporting roles to leads in television dramas and films that require emotional depth. Each project adds another layer to her reputation as an artist who values authenticity over spectacle. Kyoya, on the other hand, represents a slightly different path. He began his career with a strong visual presence, known first for modeling and appearances that emphasized charm. Yet he quickly showed that his ambitions were more expansive. Acting offered him the chance to step beyond image and demonstrate skill in storytelling. Over time, he refined his technique, developing a sensitivity to timing and emotional nuance that surprised critics and delighted fans. There is an earnestness to his performances, a sense that he approaches each role with genuine curiosity rather than calculation. His willingness to evolve has won him opportunities across genres, from lighthearted romance to more serious dramatic works. When Yoshine and Honda first appeared together, viewers could not ignore the spark. It was not necessarily the grand romantic gestures that drew attention, but the quiet, fleeting expressions, the way their eyes lingered a second longer than expected, or how their body language seemed to adjust instinctively to one another. In scenes that required closeness, there was no stiffness or hesitation, only an ease that suggested trust. Audiences are quick to notice such details, and the natural question arises, is this simply the mark of two highly skilled professionals, or does it point toward something more personal? The entertainment world thrives on this kind of ambiguity. Fans construct narratives based on what they see on screen, adding fragments from interviews, promotional appearances, and behind-the-scenes glimpses. During talk shows or press conferences, even the smallest exchange can fuel speculation. A laugh shared too easily, a compliment delivered with sincerity, or a subtle glance that goes unmentioned, these become pieces of evidence in the collective imagination of the audience. With Yoshine and Honda, such moments have accumulated, building a picture that invites curiosity. It is important, however, to recognize the skill involved in creating convincing on-screen relationships. Acting is, at its core, the art of persuasion. When two performers commit fully to their roles, they can create the illusion of intimacy so complete that viewers feel compelled to believe in it beyond the screen. This speaks not only to the chemistry between Yoshine and Honda, but also to their professionalism. They understand that their responsibility is to serve the story, to make the emotions feel genuine so that audiences are moved. In this light, the closeness that fans perceive could be seen as the result of craft rather than confession. Still, the question lingers because art and reality often overlap. Both Yoshine and Honda are at stages in their careers where their personal lives are of intense public interest. Fans want to know who they are beyond the characters they portray. For some, the possibility of a real relationship adds an extra dimension of excitement to following their work. Others prefer to maintain a clear boundary, respecting the private lives of the performers while still admiring the illusion they create together. In both cases, curiosity drives engagement, and the discussion continues. The modern age of media intensifies this dynamic. Social platforms allow fans to share observations instantly, creating waves of speculation that can spread widely within hours. A single candid photograph, a coincidental appearance in similar locations, or a casual remark taken out of context can spark trending discussions. For Yoshine and Honda, who both maintain strong public images, this attention brings both opportunity and challenge. On one hand, the intrigue keeps their names in conversation, ensuring relevance. On the other, it requires resilience to withstand rumors and speculation that may not align with reality. The cultural backdrop in Japan adds another layer of complexity. There, the line between celebrity persona and private identity is often carefully managed. Stars are expected to maintain a certain image that appeals to fans, and revelations about personal relationships can shift public perception dramatically. This makes the situation around Yoshine and Honda particularly delicate. If they are simply colleagues who share respect and artistry, the speculation may distract from their work. If there is more between them, revealing it would come with risks as well as rewards. Either way, the attention reflects their growing importance in the entertainment landscape. Behind the intrigue lies a broader truth about storytelling. Audiences are drawn to narratives of connection, whether fictional or real. When two people appear to share a bond that transcends the ordinary, it resonates because it reflects human desire for closeness, understanding, and companionship. Yoshine and Honda, through their performances, embody this desire, offering a vision of what love or partnership could look like. That vision is powerful, not only because of who they are but also because of what they represent to those who watch. As time progresses, both actors continue to expand their careers independently. Yoshine seeks roles that challenge her emotionally, pushing the boundaries of what she has already achieved. Honda explores opportunities that allow him to grow in range, showing that he is more than just an attractive presence on screen. Together, when they share the spotlight, they remind audiences of the magic that happens when two talents align. Whether that magic is purely artistic or something more personal is a question that may never be fully answered, but perhaps that is part of the appeal. The fascination with Yoshine and Honda ultimately reveals as much about the audience as it does about them. People are drawn to the idea that art can mirror life, that the emotions felt in a fictional story might reflect truths off-screen. It is comforting to believe that the warmth and tenderness we witness in dramas might also exist in reality. In this way, the speculation is not only about the actors themselves but about the hopes and imaginations of those who watch them. Even if Yoshine and Honda never clarify the nature of their connection, the dialogue surrounding them will likely persist. Their partnership, whether professional or personal, has already left a mark on viewers, sparking conversations and inspiring stories of its own. What matters most may not be the answer to the question of romance, but the impact their collaboration has on those who experience it. Through their work, they remind audiences of the power of human connection, both real and imagined. As the entertainment industry continues to evolve, with new platforms and shifting expectations, the stories of actors like Yoshine and Honda will remain central to its vitality. They embody the blend of tradition and innovation, carrying forward the timeless appeal of love stories while adapting to the demands of a modern, connected world. Their journey, whether together or apart, will be followed with interest, not only for what it reveals about them but also for what it says about the culture that embraces them. In the end, the distinction between screen partners and real-life partners may not matter as much as the influence they exert through their artistry. They have already succeeded in creating a shared narrative that captivates, intrigues, and endures. For fans and observers alike, that story is more than enough to keep the fascination alive. The world of entertainment is filled with stories that blur the line between fiction and reality, and nowhere is this more evident than in the speculation surrounding screen partnerships. Kyoko Yoshine and Kyoya Honda stand as a particularly compelling example of how two talented performers, through their work together, can ignite questions that ripple far beyond the boundaries of their scripts. Audiences are naturally drawn to the possibility that the warmth seen on screen may reflect something genuine, and as both actors rise in prominence, curiosity grows. Yoshine's career is remarkable for its steady, deliberate progression. From her earliest appearances, she carried herself with an air of authenticity. Unlike some performers who rely heavily on theatricality, Yoshine's strength lies in her ability to make her characters breathe. Whether she is portraying a high school student grappling with first love, or a more mature figure navigating complex family or professional dynamics, she communicates with understated emotion that resonates deeply. This kind of performance requires not only technical precision but also empathy. Her ability to listen, react, and embody vulnerability makes audiences feel as though they are watching someone truly live, not simply act. Critics often note that her power lies in restraint. She does not overwhelm scenes with exaggerated gestures, Instead, she trusts in the subtleties of expression. A slight shift in her tone, a flicker in her gaze, or a carefully timed pause can reveal more than pages of dialogue. This minimalism has become part of her signature, allowing viewers to project their own emotions into her performances. In an era where flash often competes with substance, Yoshine's approach feels refreshing, anchoring her reputation as a performer of rare integrity. Honda's journey differs in its trajectory but converges in its dedication to growth. Initially recognized for his striking appearance, he could have remained within the realm of modeling or roles that emphasized physical charm. Yet he chose instead to pursue acting with seriousness. At first, there was skepticism. Would he be able to move beyond surface appeal? Over time, however, he silenced doubts by committing to the craft. He trained, took risks, and selected roles that demanded more than charisma. Slowly, the industry began to see him not just as a familiar face but as an actor capable of depth and transformation. What distinguishes Honda is his openness to evolution. He acknowledges his early limitations and embraces challenges that force him to stretch. This humility endears him to fans who appreciate not only the results but also the visible journey of improvement. In interviews, he often speaks with a sense of gratitude rather than entitlement, highlighting his awareness of how fragile success can be. Such qualities make him relatable, turning admiration into genuine affection among supporters. When Yoshine and Honda's paths intersected professionally, it felt almost inevitable that sparks would fly, not necessarily in a romantic sense, but in the realm of artistic synergy. Their styles complement each other in subtle ways. Yoshine's grounded realism balances Honda's earnest energy, while Honda's expressive warmth draws out Yoshine's quieter strengths. On screen, this creates a harmony that feels natural rather than manufactured. They appear to understand one another's rhythms instinctively, allowing their interactions to flow without forced effort. Viewers began noticing these details immediately. In scenes of closeness, there was no awkwardness. Instead, their performances carried a comfort that suggested familiarity. In lighter moments, their shared laughter felt uncontrived, while in emotional climaxes, their ability to hold tension without breaking character was remarkable. The cumulative effect was a partnership that seemed to transcend simple professionalism. For many fans, it became difficult to separate the fictional relationship from the real individuals behind it. The phenomenon of shipping couples in entertainment is hardly new, yet the Yoshine-Honda pairing exemplifies its intensity in contemporary culture. Fans construct elaborate narratives, drawing from interviews, promotional appearances, and even casual photographs. A glance during a press event becomes evidence, a compliment exchanged in a magazine profile becomes a clue. These fragments, while innocuous in isolation, weave together into a tapestry of speculation. Entire online communities devote themselves to analyzing these interactions, sharing theories, and debating interpretations. For Yoshine and Honda, this attention brings both benefits and challenges. On the positive side, their joint popularity increases visibility, ensuring that projects involving them attract significant interest. Producers and networks recognize the value of such chemistry, sometimes even tailoring promotions around the perceived closeness of the stars. Yet on the other side lies the risk of overshadowing their individual identities. When the focus shifts too heavily toward personal speculation, it can obscure appreciation of their professional achievements. The tension between public persona and private reality is particularly pronounced in Japanese celebrity culture. Unlike some Western contexts where stars openly discuss personal relationships, Japanese entertainers often maintain a guarded approach. Privacy is prized, and revelations about dating or romance can provoke strong reactions from fans. For idols in particular, but also for actors, the expectation is that they remain accessible to the imagination of supporters. As such, speculation around Yoshine and Honda sits at the crossroads of admiration and intrusion. From one perspective, the fascination with their potential relationship reflects a cultural longing for idealized romance. Viewers project their hopes for love and companionship onto figures like Yoshine and Honda, whose on-screen portrayals embody those desires. Believing that the connection might be real adds another layer of emotional satisfaction, as though the fictional world has spilled into reality. From another perspective, however, it raises questions about boundaries. How much of their lives should be open to public consumption, and at what cost? Interestingly, Both Yoshine and Honda have navigated this landscape with poise. They neither encourage nor deny rumors outright, instead choosing to focus conversations on their work. This strategy demonstrates professionalism and protects their personal space, while still allowing fans to interpret as they wish. It is a delicate balance, but one that reflects maturity. Rather than being defined by gossip, they continue to pursue roles that expand their artistic horizons. Beyond the rumors, their careers hold substance that deserves equal attention. Yoshine has proven adept at carrying dramas that explore complex themes, often involving moral dilemmas or intricate human relationships. She is not afraid to portray flawed characters, bringing out shades of humanity that resonate because they feel real. Honda, meanwhile, has sought projects that challenge his earlier typecasting, demonstrating his ability to adapt to comedic timing as well as dramatic gravitas. Together, their shared projects serve as milestones that highlight the growth of both. What makes their story compelling is not necessarily whether they are partners off-screen, but how their partnership, real or perceived, reflects broader truths about art, culture, and audience psychology. People want to believe in connections that transcend performance, because such connections validate the emotions they feel while watching. If two actors can make love look convincing, it reassures audiences that love itself is attainable, not just fictional. The speculation, then, is less about uncovering reality and more about preserving the dream. Over time, the conversation about Yoshine and Honda will likely evolve. As they take on new roles, collaborate with different co-stars, and continue to mature personally, the focus may shift. Yet the memory of their partnership will linger as a reference point, an example of how chemistry on screen can spark fascination off it. Whether they ever reveal more about their personal dynamic is ultimately secondary. What endures is the impact they have already created, the conversations they have inspired, and the emotional resonance they continue to provide through their craft. Their legacy, even in its early stage, illustrates the enduring allure of storytelling. In the spaces between fiction and reality, audiences find room to dream, imagine, and hope. Yoshine and Honda, through their artistry, embody that space. Whether as colleagues, friends, or something more, they remind us that human connection, genuine or performed, remains at the heart of why we watch, why we care, and why we continue to be captivated.